For my final project, I created an assistive technology electronic resource notebook on livebinder.com. I had never used this website before, but as I began to explore it, I knew it was a platform I wanted to be able to use for my final project. I chose the Live Binder because I loved the layout and how you could color code, and I thought it was really user friendly and people could really navigate it well and reach it from any device that they needed. So I created this AT resource notebook for my co-teachers, colleagues, teachers, administrators, therapists, paraprofessionals, and even parents to introduce them to what assistive technology is and the definitions. And then I chose 5 specific categories to focus on. The categories I chose were low-tech devices, cognitive assist devices, alternative communication systems, technology for individuals with autism, and apps and AT. So those were the 5 categories I chose, and then I also included frequently asked questions. I chose these 5 categories because I believe those are the categories that are most relevant to my teaching right now in the inclusion co-teach setting or in the resource room setting at the elementary age. Under here, I included my why. Our principal recently challenged us to think about and vocalize our why we're doing what we're doing, why we're teaching, why we love it. So my why for this electronic resource notebook is because I want those co-teachers and teachers around me and therapists and administrators to be able to better meet the needs of each individual student. And at our school, we're beginning to see a lot of need for assistive technology, but many of us have little to no knowledge or resources about specific devices and even what it is. So I wanted this resource to be meaningful to the people that teach at my school that I can share it with. So I chose the 5 categories because they are relevant to the types of needs we see at our specific school. So we're going to dive right in. First, the AT definitions. This first video I just loved because it talks about how AT is really used to support learners, which some teachers don't even quite understand what AT is, and it just really gives a great overview. I also gave the IDEA definition of assistive technology. It's very clear and understandable. And then I also included Iris Center, their module on assistive technology. I learned about this Iris Center through BGSU, and I just think it's really clear and understandable. It gives great examples and videos and things like that. So I thought this was an awesome resource. We're going to dive into my first category, which is low-tech devices. I personally believe at my school and at the elementary age, we see more low-tech devices than anything. I kind of introduced it with the continuum and gave the definition and examples, and then I just gave a bunch of different low-tech devices. Flexible seating is huge. We have a current initiative in our district to provide flexible seating, but people forget it is a form of low-tech assistive technology. So I gave this website. I personally love the book boats. I'm definitely taking that back to my first grade co-teacher. I also then went ahead and included wiggle seat cushions specifically because I would say about 50% of my classrooms at the school I teach with have wiggle seat cushions. So this kind of explains what they are and why we need them. I also really enjoyed the graphic organizer low-tech devices. People sometimes don't realize that those are low-tech assistive technology, and this specific website gives 32 different types of graphic organizers, which is so amazing. The next category is cognitive assist devices. So I gave kind of an example or a definition of what it is, and then this awesome resource website. And then I wanted to share with you just this Visual Impact 3. This is an app for iPhones and iPads that is free, love it, that provides step-by-step directions for individuals who need it. A lot of times this is more for people at home, but I actually downloaded it and I'm using it in my classroom, especially for students that are, like, for example, working on the writing process and they need prompts on what to do first, next, then last. So I am able to go in and create my own task and give step-by-step directions, and they can use that in the classroom, which I love because I'm still helping them, but it's more independent because I'm not standing over their shoulder. The next category I included are alternative communication systems, which I believe at the elementary age we see them more in the preschool, kindergarten, and first grade. At my school, personally, we see a ton of the no tech, low tech AAC devices. But I did point out that there are 3 different categories: no tech, low tech, mid tech, and high tech, which I think a lot of people don't know. What we see most in my school are pod books and PECs, but then I also gave examples of mid-tech devices as well as high-tech. The next category is technology for individuals with autism. I particularly enjoyed completing this category because I am specializing in autism for my master's, so it was really interesting to find the different apps that I had never heard of. One app that I really thought was cool, well, I really liked Daycape, which just visually plans out their day. I just think it's awesome. And then I also found Camp Discovery, which is an app, and it's game-based, and it just works on different skills that individuals with autism need help on. They don't know they're learning. It's evidence-based, and their progress and data is saved, and the teacher or parent or administrator can access it right away. I did download it on my iPad, so I can't wait to start it with a few of my students. The last category is apps in AT, which is so interesting because I included so many apps in my other categories. I really tried to find specific apps that I wasn't able to include. And the one that I thought was awesome, particularly for my colleagues, is virtual manipulatives, because we use a ton of manipulatives in math at my school, I know in all grade levels, and this is just really cool because it provides all the manipulatives we already use, like you see right here, fractions, but online, which is awesome because, like, even on our air tests, their manipulatives are online. And then the last thing I just included are frequently asked questions about AT, because I think that a lot of people that are viewing my resource that I made will have questions, and these kind of might provide those answers. So I hope you enjoyed my final project. Thanks.